Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are so incredibly excited to have you joining us for our One Piece inspired SAGAS TTRPG stream series that starts today and goes all throughout the month of April. My name is Jess. Most known as Just the Human with one S across the internet. My pronouns are they, them, theirs, and I am going to popcorn it over to Julie.
Hello, everybody. My name is Julian, or Julie CL. I use any and all pronouns. My character today, who you will meet later, will use they, she, however, and you will meet them soon. Let's popcorn it over to Lou.
Hi, I'm Lou. I use they, them pronouns, and I will be playing Inkray, who uses he, they pronouns. I'm going to popcorn it over to Jake.
Hey everyone, I'm Jake, he, him, and I'm excited to see what kind of shenanigans this crew gets into. Popcorn over to Angie.
Hi everybody, I'm Angie. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me at Aegon Theric anywhere on the internet. And yeah, so excited. And
that leaves me.
yes.
I feel like my name should be nervous right now. But instead, I will tell you what it actually is. Hi, I'm Dennis. You can find me all over the internet at okayest__DM. I'm gonna do my best to run a chill and cool One Piece story for y'all, and I've been excited for this for months.
And with that being said, we're going to play a quick intro for y'all. And welcome back, y'all. Again, we are so incredibly thrilled that you have decided to join us as we set sail on the South Blue. And with that being said, we are going to turn this over to Dennis to start the story.
On the island of Addendum, ruled by the tyrant king Dial, there is a saying, never sign anything. The king rules through the power of the deal fruit, which makes his contracts nigh unbreakable. His attorneys are skilled at hiding clauses deep within these words, affording him power beyond his station, both over his subjects and his trade partners. The people of Addendum live in harsh times. Oppressed by the upper 1% and by the world government, many are under King Dial's truth-saying contract, and it is impossible for them to lie. When they're asked who gave them so much food, they always say, nobody. Nobody helps them. And they must be telling the truth. When nobody gives them anything, they express their thanks. When nobody offers their assistance, they help nobody in return. Nobody is supposed to come today, and the dry, dusty air is filled with excitement. Children are already outside playing, neighbors chatting. A girl in the distance shouts, "Nobody's here!" And the whole village comes running. Far in the distance, approaching from the port, we can see a cart overflowing with food being rolled along by two fishmen. Jake, please describe what your character looks like.
Yes, you see in this cart a 6-foot-tall fisherman, blue skin, wearing his nice Hawaiian aloha shirt. He's got his hair slicked back, I guess because of his webbed hands. It kind of looks like it like spins as it goes back. Just check out the really cool art that Angie did just right there. And yeah, he's got his pants on. He's got the like traditional like chanclas that they wear in One Piece world. So he's got his sandals on. And as the kids run up, he like stares at one of the kids, like kind of just spaghetti western style, and then rock, paper, scissors. Paper, my
Scissors.
only my only. How did you know? How did you know it was going to be scissors?
I always beat you, nobody.
You do. Okay, for that, I told you I was going to bring you cupcakes, and he reaches behind in the big old sack and pulls out cupcakes. I've already had 3, so they're not poisoned. Just make sure you pass them out to everybody, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. The child grabs the cupcakes and turns and darts into the crowd, immediately swarmed by their siblings. And watching this exchange from right next to Nemo is, well, Lou, I'll let you describe what your character looks like.
You see, standing about 9 foot tall and 6 foot wide, just an absolute unit of a man, but not too out of place for the setting we're in. Long black dreadlocks and a crisp but understated black suit. Has a briefcase in one hand and a sword on one hip. Inkray is, for all appearances, one of the many lawyers and bureaucrats that walk around in this country. And he's kind of standing, watching this interaction, keeping an eye out for any trouble.
I will ask you to roll our first check of our show to keep an eye out for trouble. So how checks work in Sagas, you will look at your character sheet and see if anything on it could possibly apply to the situation. If nothing applies, you roll a d10.
I fully missed my dice ball. I'm not crawling onto the couch for that one. Do you believe I did it again? A 10.
10. And to clarify, this is a roll low system. You are still enamored with these smells of food that have been coming from the cart your entire journey up this hill. And now you're tired, exhausted, and after all of those delectable scents, starving. You are not watching at all.
Sidle over and see if I can subtly grab one of those cupcakes without anyone noticing me do it.
Make another check.
A 3.
It is clear where your focuses truly lie. Because even though Nemo said he ate like 3 of them, there are 4 missing. As the village surrounds this cart, every single one of them takes a moment at some point to either shout across heads, "Thank you," or come up and actually shake your hand with tears in their eyes. Looking around at the people of this village, they needed this. They are run down, all of them dirty. A couple of them are starting to look very hungry and a little thin. It is clear that evil is at work here in the kingdom of Addendum. And seeing this from a slight distance, we see someone else coming up behind this cart of food, coming up from the port. Angie, as your character approaches this scene of crowds swarming this single cart, what does your character look like? And additional question, how do they feel about it?
Oh, you're muted.
Mute gods appeased. All hail.
My mute fruit!
It's happened like 3 times already. So Zelio is a human-looking, average height individual with long tresses of blonde hair, wearing this green hat with a red brim, dressed in greens and whites. They've got this very sort of peculiarly done up face with just heart-shaped lips and just a little bit of accentuating their features. Very androgynous, leaning towards femininity in their appearance. They saw all of this and immediately thought of it as like, oh, that's nice. However, like the moment that they sort of like noticed the countenances of these individuals, they kind of curiously narrowed their eyes, but is continuing on their way, wherever it is that they're going.
At this point, Zelio has come to this island with a goal in mind. You have just acquired something of great value, and you can't run it by yourself.
No, unfortunately.
The village elder finally makes her way out, and Ink Ray and Nemo, it's someone you recognize. It's an elderly woman you know as Vila. And she sort of hobbles up to you.
Oh, thank you both very much. I'm so grateful that nobody helps us.
I mean, we do what we can, right, Ray? Is that a sprinkle on your face, Ray?
No, I haven't eaten in a while. Actually, if I could have a cupcake, that would be great. If there's any spare.
Yeah, we got a couple. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I'll take 2 actually. We're here to help. We're here to be as helpful as we can.
Yeah, just remember, nobody stop by.
That's
That's
right.
yeah.
Nobody always helps. I must ask for your assistance in something strange. I know I don't usually ask very much, and you give out of the kindness of your hearts, but I was wondering if I might impose a little bit something extra. I have a request.
Like leaning in.
There
What,
was-
what do you think? What should we?
I mean, we're not going to get paid. We don't get paid for this.
Should we just add? Is there payment, Grandma? Or
You'll have to ask them.
Well, now I want to know who they are. So,
same.
Yes,
Hear 'em out.
I think it is best you meet. Please, follow me.
Did Zelio hear any of that?
Zelio's been sort of like hanging out at the back of the cart, a little bit out of sight, I feel.
Okay, yeah.
So definitely within earshot.
I want to follow, just wherever they go.
Are you just trying to remain out of sight?
Yeah.
All right. I'll ask you to make a check, please, to remain out of sight.
I will say that one of my struggles is prominent. So
Indeed.
I'm
Hey, that's mine as well.
doing this to myself. Okay. That's a 10 on a 12.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Almost every single pair of eyes as you try to meander your way through this crowd, following the two fishmen and the old woman. Almost everybody turns their heads and watches this gorgeous figure walk amongst them, standing out like a beautifully manicured thumb.
So immediately notices all the heads. Says, "Why, hello. I seem to have overheard you speaking of about needing some assistance."
At this point, both Nemo and Inkray hear the voice behind them, the voice of Zelio.
I'm gonna turn around. I'm sorry. Who are you?
Oh, that is not of importance. However, I'm very curious what it is that you all seem to be doing. It seems curious sort of energy in this island ever since I've arrived.
You want to tag along?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to sign a tag along contract, with a non-disclosure clause.
It's pretty standard. It's pretty standard.
A contract.
Mm-hmm.
And what would happen if I said no?
Well, most contracts signed in this country are... Oh, so signing the contract? You wouldn't be able to come with us.
But what would stop me from following you?
I would stop you.
You are very big, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the contracts in this country are enforced by the King's Devil Fruit power. My contracts are enforced by... And I just flex.
Wow, look at that! Wow, wow. Am I right?
What am I looking at?
The shark show.
I'm strong.
Mm-hmm.
And like punch a boulder, like break a boulder in half.
I've seen it happen.
Oh, okay. So, I see. So you use violence to make people sign your contracts.
No, I use violence to make them follow through with my contracts, or,
You're very one-sided. Kind of
well,
thing,
people
isn't
are
it?
more than welcome to use violence to enforce their side of the contract with me. I would never break a contract, but
Oh,
if I did,
all right. May I read your contract, please?
sure. I feel like I just have like a whole like folder that's just got the little tabs with the like.
Wow,
with
the
the
manila
contract.
folder
Yeah.
just like,
Is there anything in
yes,
this contract that is
indeed.
just like kind of shady? I'm just like,
As you glance through it, please make a check to see if there is anything shady in this contract.
Okay.
And there is someone that's been watching this whole exchange,
okay.
but I will
can
let Julie go ahead.
Can I also, if I find anything that to me seems kind of odd, would I be able to use a social skill to try and be like, why wouldn't you want me to come along? Look at me with the attractive trait.
I think so. I think you would if it has to go down that route. Absolutely.
Got it. Well, to read the contract, that's an 8. So I'm assuming I don't really see much.
There are several
gonna
words
say-
that you don't know the definitions of on this piece of
I was
paper.
sorry. I was just gonna add, I do have a thing that lets me roll for writing a contract that I could roll against this.
Oh, incredible.
Yes.
I love legal
do.
lingo.
There's literally a skill in this called legalese. I rolled a 1, so It's the most impenetrable, airtight contract you've ever read in your life.
Truly, it is.
Yeah.
It is a full like packet. It's 5 pages, front and
Mhm.
back, with every single legal loophole known on this island, sealed, airtight.
It's just skimming it at this point. Just like, it's not really reading anything.
Look, the long and short of the contract is, if you tag along, you can't tell anyone about what you see or what you do, and we can't tell anyone about what you see or what you do. For confidentiality. I'm not gonna lie, we're doing things that, the authorities in this country maybe not too happy about. So, gotta look
Well-
after ourselves.
Well, you could have just started with that, couldn't you?
No, he never does. They never.
You're
It's the threats first.
you're a tall, pretty blonde woman that everyone is looking at,
Not
and we're
a woman,
trying to be
darling.
incognito.
Not a woman, darling. I do not live in the binary.
Sorry. My apologies. You're a tall, attractive person who is drawing a lot of attention. And I am
It
also
is-
drawing attention.
It is quite.
And
Okay, I'll sign your contract, and we'll do it.
as the signature goes in, the crowd has sort of like, the crowd lost interest a while ago, but there's one person that's been watching this whole exchange the entire time, and I don't know from where. I'm going to have to let Julie answer that, as you please describe your character for us.
So, if we were to manga visualize this for a little bit, you see the familiar sets of characters talking to each other a little bit in the background. But in the foreground, you just see a figure perched on the roof. First, you see like a long bent leg and a little speech bubble that's like, curious, very curious. And then you see like a hand scratching like a big poof of hair. And then the next speech bubble says, it seems like maybe the tides are turning. Maybe I should see what these people are up to, quietly. And then a full like panel of the face of this human with like wild hair, antenna like protrusions coming out of it, made of hair. It's their hair, just kind of like naturally kind of points to an antenna. And they say, and I will follow stealthily because grasshoppers are famously stealthy. Just in a big shot of their face. This is Esmer, who is not quite fully bug mode like the lovely art that Angie drew. Instead is just a bent leg, about maybe 6.5 feet tall person just crouching on a roof, shouting their intentions because they are very stealthy. They took the stats for it. They took the chatterbox flaw. And I think that feels very One Piece.
Yeah.
I don't know if they hear me or not. I guess that's up to the GM, but that's what
We're
I'm doing. I'm on a
It
roof.
just cuts, and we're all just staring at you.
Yep.
I must flee because grasshoppers are famously good at jumping off of roofs. I leap backwards.
Just at the friend.
Okay, I gotta ask, just because comedic effect, I'm gonna need a check for this jump on a slanted roof.
Absolutely, 100p, 100%. I do have sprint, level 2. So does that mean I'm rolling a d8 for this?
Since this is specifically for jumping and not running, I'm gonna say no.
Cool. That's a crit, a 1.
There is clear, dexterous, practiced, or natural skill inside Esmer's physique, because the perfect acrobatics that you see as Esmer just disappears behind the edge of the roof.
Upside down, triple axle through the air. They will never know I was present! And then down into the dust.
Are we gonna make them sign the contract too?
I wouldn't dare impose anybody who didn't want to offer their assistance.
If they follow us, we'll deal with that when it happens.
Well, if you'll please follow me then. The three of you. And the old woman, Vila, goes into one of the buildings. Like many of the ones around it, it is very run down. The interior smells and feels much like outside, dry, dusty. And she leads you to a rug that she, with some difficulty, removes and reveals the hatch to a trapdoor. Would one of you dearies mind, please? My back isn't what it used to be.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, you got
Yeah. Rip that open.
And the camera switches to inside of this basement. And there are two people. The first is a young man, looks human, just like Vila, and he is light-skinned, dusty brown hair, sort of sitting nervously, wringing his hands, and he jumps a little bit at the opening of the trapdoor. The second, I am going to let Jess describe their character.
Yeah, absolutely. You see Coralie sitting with this this man, just chatting him up, asking him all sorts of questions. And you see that they have kind of iridescent purple hair. Shout out to Angie for the amazing recommendation. But their hair moves in its side braid, and that's because their hair is made of snakes. They have light purple skin with scales intermittent throughout their skin and body. They wear some purple sunglasses, and you almost never see a flash of their eyes. They're on the shorter side, under 5'5" in their current state for sure. And they wear just kind of a mesh top with a tank top on underneath. And again, they're just chatting this man up.
Well, I'm not sure what you mean, Coralie. Could you ask that again?
Yes, I was asking where I get the ice cream from around here. I'm very used to having all of the ice cream that I can eat, and I haven't been satisfied since I ended up on this island.
Right, and I would be very very happy to oblige, but could you tell me what is ice cream?
What do you mean you don't know what ice cream is? What? We've been through this. You take the cream and you take, I don't know, the sugar. I don't make things. I just eat them. And it's really cold and it feels really good on your tongue. You don't.
The trapdoor in the ceiling opens, and slowly down the very steep ladder climbs Vila, who has been looking after you since you managed to escape from the clutches of the king.
Hey there.
Oh, hello, dearie. It's so good to see you again. I brought some people that might be able to help.
And I'll look over and smile.
And everyone except Esmer
We'll get to it.
gets into the basement. And it's very small. So with what would this be? 6 people, one of them being Inkray. It's a very cramped basement.
Crate is just hunched.
Stooped, head brushing the ceiling.
Hello there, friends. I'm Corley, King Corley. Nice to meet you. Vila, how did you become acquainted?
King? This is the king of the island?
Oh no, not this one. No.
Ah, I see. Interesting.
King Dial wanted something with Corley here, but we aren't sure what, and apparently Corley doesn't remember much of the interaction.
Yeah,
Ooh.
you could describe that man to me right now, and I just wouldn't be able to tell him from my brother Paul, my sister Mary, none of them.
Oh, but
Did
you
you-
remember your brother and your sister.
Oh, yes, they were good
Did you make it?
snakes.
Did you make a deal with him?
Yeah, I don't know. But from what Vila's, told me, probably.
Ooh. That could be a problem.
I think it already is a problem, my friend. By the way, what's your name?
I'm Incray.
Nice to meet you. I'm like really tilting my head. Damn glad to meet you, friend.
Hi, I'm Nemo.
You.
Nice to meet you, Nemo.
That's Nemo. This is. Sorry, what was your name again?
Oh, it is Zelio. Zelio Costas.
That's a real neat name. I like that.
And I am Esmer.
Where did that come from?
Ah!
I've been there, hands on my hips. I followed you stealthily and have revealed my presence just now, as grasshoppers are famously honest.
Contract. I signed the contract. This one has to sign the contract too.
We don't like
Yeah.
to sign things on this island. I don't know if y'all knew that.
Oh, but this is Inkray's contract. This is different.
Hmm.
You get to be a nobody like us.
Esmer like puts a hand on their chin, thinking about it, and like starts pacing, and then just like walks up the wall at a 90-degree angle. Perhaps I'll consider it. And then upside down reaches their arms out to grab the contract. Grasshoppers have famously good penmanship.
Do you sign it without reading the thing?
Yeah.
I love her so much. I would be crushed if anything ever happened to her, ever.
Grasshoppers are famously good at getting crushed.
I'm screaming. I have to hold it together. Hold it
Right.
together.
So then, Velia, what made you pick these ones? And then I'm going to like very pointedly look at Esmer.
Oh, well, I just thought that Mr. Nobody and Mr. Nobody would be able to assist us, and it appears we picked up a few extras in the process. And, but to get to the point, you see, I don't think it's safe for you here anymore, Corley. I think the king's men are going to come looking very soon. I've heard word of them accosting our neighbors in other villages, looking for the snake-haired one.
I think you like see like gears turning on Coralieve's face, and she's going to put down their glasses and say, "Wait, are you saying that this could be the crew?"
Well,
No.
yes. All you would need is a way to get off of the kingdom of Addendum, and then the king would have no chance of finding you. We can't hide you here forever, my dear.
Do any of you know how to swim?
No.
No.
My friend, you're
Mute
muted.
fruit.
I, I said no, but it could be lying.
Yeah, we're fishermen. What do you mean you can't swim?
Well, I don't want to. I don't want to give away all of my bits before I get them to sign the contract.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha.
you,
Gotta keep
so
something on
you
the table for
cannot
later.
swim. So you cannot swim. You just say that.
No, yeah,
It's terrible. It's
yeah,
Yep.
it's a terrible affliction.
yep.
I too
It's-
cannot swim, but that is because of my devil fruit, the bug fruit, model grasshopper.
Oh, we just got right into it. Very cool.
Oh.
Very cool.
Okay.
I like you. I can hear you speak clearly.
You're
That's-
great and small.
That's true. At least we'll never have to wonder what is going through Esmer's head.
Or where they are.
Or where they are, exactly. Funny thing that you say about a crew and how to get out of this island. Coincidence I am here searching for a ship of my own. And also looking for a crew.
Just gonna quickly jump in here and say that if anyone wants me to do any fighting, I do not fight unless I am under contract. They do not call me the contract pirate for nothing.
That's true.
Oh,
Okay, that's gonna be interesting. So I did introduce myself as King Coralie. I also, I hope to be a double king, because currently I reside as King of the Snakes, but I think that you are looking at future King of the Pirates.
King of the pirate.
oh,
Wait,
those
for
are
real?
some grand aspirations.
It's a lofty goal.
Yeah, well, you know, it was pretty easy becoming King of the Snakes, so I figured why not just add on the pirates too, and you know, after that, the whole world.
How does that happen then? Is it like a vote, or is there an island where you are king of the snakes?
Yeah, Slither Island.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, let's keep it that way. So,
Oh,
so, one of us can swim. One of us was also already searching for a ship. I do have some golden snakes that we can sell off. I don't know. Human money is kind of funky, but
I should add interesting addendum to to all of this conversation. I'm not just looking for a ship. I am looking for a ship that was left to me. And from what my sources say, the king has it. So
all right. Well, then I can keep my snakes. We can find your ship, and then we can get out of here.
well, apparently the king wants you for some reason. So is it safe for you to be?
Is anything ever safe?
Oh, you are so right. I knew I liked you.
You'll see like a
The-
darker shade of purple blush across my cheeks.
They
The,
seem to be aroused.
Oh, well,
No. No. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Anyway,
I have a question. And the kid that was having a conversation with Coralie and before you showed up meekly raises his hand. Do you know what your ship looks like?
no. I mean, do I, Dennis?
Was-
I don't think they would. I think they were just told the ship was here.
I think you were told you'd know it when you see it.
Got it. I love that I love that anime magic thing. Yeah. Apparently, I'll know it when I see it.
Well, I think I saw it in the port down the hill
Oh,
because there aren't a lot of ships that are that.
what do you mean?
I mean, it's very.
What does this mean? What is your name?
Should we be doing it too?
It's cramped enough where like you keep everyone just that is doing it starts bumping into each other. Well, it's really really colorful.
Of course it is. It's like a moment where Zelio just sort of gets. Of course it is. Nothing quite like a little showmanship.
You all hear the raucous begin at the same time.
Huh?
There's a commotion upstairs. You can hear armor clanking, people shouting. Not marching exactly, but several footsteps. You can hear doors being banged open, and then one much louder as a door bangs open above you. Hello? Anybody
Hello?
here?
Oh, wait, my friend, wait, my green friend, Velia. Do we know? And I'm gonna point to the noises upstairs.
I think our village is next. You have to go.
Footsteps above you. Floorboards creaking with each step as it goes closer and closer to the closed trapdoor.
Is there a way out besides the trapdoor? I know I've been here for a minute, but I don't think I've ever asked that.
This is just a basement. We don't have any secret passages. I'm sorry.
So the only way out is through.
Oh,
Hmm.
that is an option.
Again,
You hear
will not fight unless someone signs the contract.
I think
You
with
need to
that,
hire me.
Nemo will pull out like a scroll. I've been saving this for a while, Inkray, but here we go.
Okay. I'm gonna. Someone just did punch a hole through the wall in chat, which is so funny because I'm going to punch a hole through the trapdoor and just grab the leg of whoever is up there and just try and drag them down here with us.
This is such an interesting way of life.
go ahead and make a check.
This would be, I assume, some sort of improvised unarmed attack.
You are rolling to punch a hole through a trapdoor in this case.
An 8, probably.
So, Inkray, you're standing right by the stairs, still kind of stooped, and you crouch down lower and ready to uppercut the door itself. And right as the trapdoor opens, your fist whooshes through it entirely as the door is now open, and you see this very surprised guard in the king's regalia. Ah! Ah! And turns and just runs out of the building.
Can I try to stop him from running?
I'm chasing.
How?
with my whip finesse, essentially grab, throw the whip out, wrap around their ankle.
You're in the basement. He's on the first floor. I'm going to
Okay.
need you to make a check to get up the ladder before you can
Okay.
make that attempt.
I do have sure-footed as well, so my movement
That would
is,
absolutely apply for ladder climbing.
yes. Did I roll? I rolled the wrong. I rolled a d10. That's a 4 on the movement.
That's a success. You zip right up the ladder, and you're still in the air when you get your whip out. And I'll have to ask, what does your whip look like?
So the whip is a silver serrated chain whip that has a pink and green handle. And the moment it comes out, it just glints in a little bit of the light as it whips out and wraps around this person's ankle and pulls them down.
All right, make a check for that attack roll.
Okay. That is, just to make sure, what sort of die would that be? Because there was no die attached to the attack of the whip finesse.
If there's nothing on your character sheet that would apply, it'll be a D10.
D10, okay. And then for the serrated chain whip, it says when you hit a creature with this weapon, you may also prevent the creature from moving until you attack. So, let me see. That was an 8. On a D10.
An 8 is not quite enough. As the guard has turned his back, the whip sings as it slices through the air and stops just short of his ankle as he darts out of the door.
I know it's weird to like keep leapfrogging over each other like outside of an order, but I do have sprint, which allows me to in combat cross 2 combat zones and also use a D8 for any checks to move quickly. I feel like as soon as they started running, Esmer crouched, the legs kind of like built up with unnatural muscle, and then they like jumped through the hole in the ceiling, if you would.
Oh yeah.
Jason.
You don't even have to make a check to like jump out of this hole, and you leap once, and then with 2 quick steps, you're already out the door with the guard himself. And he's about to shout, and I need you to make an attempt to do what you're gonna do.
Absolutely. I'm gonna do what I do best, which is lots of kicks. I have level 3 martial arts, which means I attack with a D8, and that is a 2. So if you will allow it, Esmer will leap into the air. While sideways in the air, one of their incredibly long legs is going to hook around the guard and yeet them back where they came from, back towards everybody else.
Incredible.
And as the guard just gets yanked back into the building, Esmer, you dart back inside and quickly close the door.
And as I shouted the attack, forgot to say, I'm definitely, as my leg hooks around them and I start building up power, there's like a moment where I'm like, bug, yo, and then I throw them backwards.
I love it.
Everyone slowly climbs up to the first floor, this guard lying unconscious in the middle of all of you. And the old woman last up the ladder. I think that's your signal to escape.
Eat him. Escape.
Yeah, we can unpick that later. Everybody, shall we?
Before we go, disguise.
All right. And you see Coralie shrink down into a snake after saying, snake, power makeup, in the Sailor Moon style. And she even holds her fist up and then just starts slithering down. And then Coralie will... Who do you think would be standing the closest to Coralie at this point? Zelio?
Sure. It's really funny as you do that. Zelio's just like, well, I meant for you to dress in the clothing of the guard, but this works.
And you'll hear, yes, sorry about that. And he'll just like start like slithering up your body and then just like wear themselves like a scarf around your neck.
And if anything, you can hide. You can hide in my cap.
Thanks.
Well,
Well,
Doing your way back down to the port.
so real quick, Inkray, will you be coming with us along as well?
I'm now contracted to Nemo for 3 days, so
Excellent.
wherever Nemo goes, I go.
Excellent. Well, let's go find the ship, which apparently I missed coming in here. Thank you.
Are you so you're all ready? You approach the door, and are you going to try to do this stealthily? And I ask because you can still hear dozens upon dozens of guards accosting townsfolk just on the other side of this door.
If I may, one of my odd jobs I do in this town is roof repair, as grasshoppers are famously good at jumping on top of things and then repairing them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And out of character, I do have the sneak ability. So what Esmer is going to propose is, I would love to use a chimney or some window to get to the top of this house stealthily, and maybe provide, if not a way out, at the very least information for all of you to know where to go to dodge these guards.
The roof is thin enough, you should be able to squeeze your way through.
Grasshoppers are famously good at squeezing. So is this going to be a sneak check then?
This is going to be 2 checks. First
Cool.
to sneak, the second to spot.
Cool. So I'll use a D8 for sneak because I have sneak, and then a 10 for spot.
I would like to say that Zelio definitely hears this, and maybe anyone close enough, but you'd hear Coralie say, snakes are really good at that too. I love to squeeze.
Whoa. So good news and bad news. The good news, fantastic sneaking. So sneaky. The sneakiest, dare I say. I crit. The bad news, the spotting, perhaps the worst one could get in contrast, because I got the lowest number for the sneak and the highest number for the spot.
That tracks.
It tracks pretty well.
I will bring up at this point that there's a mechanic in Sagas called Help. Any of you can spend 2 effort to give Esmer an extra die to find to get the lay of the land. You could do this however you want. You could take a peek out the window yourself. You could give Esmer advice, whatever you think your character would do.
Just get ready to jump. Get ready to jump.
I feel like Zelios is not familiar with this land, so I don't know if he'd be able to help in this.
So
Guards usually all
Esmer-
congregate around one area and then stay there, right?
that's I imagine Esmer sort of like pokes her head back in and says that.
Yeah.
I'll say Nemo burns the 2 points, and is like, no, okay. So there's a cart. Okay, look out real quick to your left. The cart.
Mhm.
See what the cupcakes?
Yes.
Okay. So some of them around the cupcakes. We got the other ones over by what is it? The elder's house, and then he's just kind of like naming out where some of the where he can see from his vantage point.
Understood.
So you're using Help, And Julie, you get an extra die on your check to see.
Thank you, Jake. And that is significantly better than a 10. That's a 5.
You are pretty sure that this is going to be a very difficult trek. But you do see a way out if you time it correctly. There is one set of guards moving just across the road, and once they pass, there's going to be no more behind them. This house is gotten already. But there is another wave of guards on their way to do a second pass.
All right. I'm going to just kind of like poke a little bit back down between the passages in the roof and just say, "Get ready," as I'm waiting for them to pass. Get ready. And then with the heads up from Nemo, I know when to spot, and I say, "Now!" Down into the house, not screaming it into the town this time.
Yeah. And the as Vila says, "Good luck," she quietly opens the door for you. Everyone quietly and quickly files out of this building, and you start going as stealthily as you can from building to building, making your way down towards the port. And I'm going to ask what each of you are doing to help get to the port as quickly and quietly as possible.
I'll start, if that's okay. I took the keen sense trait specifically for smell. And I feel like since I've been here for a while, I would know what the guards smell like. So I'd like to keep my keen sense up to be able to like talk to Zelio and say, okay, you know, skip this side. Make sure you're not going to the right. There are guards over there.
All right, go ahead and make that check.
My roll is a 3.
Perfect, because I have prominent, which means that my stealth is at a disadvantage.
I almost took the attractive trait, and then I was like, no, I don't like prominent. No, thank you. I don't want that as a struggle.
You taste the air, and you can smell the guards as they make their way, their stench wafting away with them. And then the wind shifts, and you can smell the guards that are coming your direction. And you know now is the time to move. And you dart from house to house to house. You make it most of the way out of the village, but there's still a couple guards that are holding a perimeter, making sure none of the villagers escape while they, you know, check every single building. Who else is doing something to help?
I don't have anything.
I think so. Esmer is from this town and has kind of been waiting for the moment where other strong people showed up where they could possibly make a move. So I think Esmer is somewhat familiar with some of the folks in the town, and I think we'll maybe see some friends, maybe like an old couple whose roof they repaired at one point, and kind of just like point for them to like distract the guards, and then maybe the old couple will like walk up to the guards and like start like talking to them or something like that. I know that's a little complicated, but I think that's
No, I'm following. As the entire group is slinking between an alleyway, you look out towards the main road, and you duck back in when right in time as a guard rounds a corner to see you. And you make eye contact across the road with this old couple who you've helped before. And you both share a knowing nod. And the couple looks at each other. And one of them drops to the ground. Oh! Oh, no! I'm injured! Ah! I'm going to have to ask you. I don't know how this is quite going to work, but Julie, Esmer needs to make a check to convey this message whatever the message might be across the road without speaking and only using facial expressions.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sure. So I'm gonna roll D10. Ooh, that's an 8.
Oh no! I'm so injured.
You're doing great.
The guards split and say, "What is going on?"
Faster, faster, faster.
And all of you try to get out of the alleyway, but you aren't quite fast enough. A guard sees Inkray, who's bringing up the rear. Very difficult to hide.
I don't understand why I'm not perfectly hidden, but okay.
Should have worn a blanket over yourself. Would have covered like half of you.
And the guard shouts, "We've got runners!" And you can hear clinking. And at this point, I am going to ask everyone to enter combat. And to do that, Sagas, you need to make a reaction check to see how quickly you can react to the guard shouting.
Okay.
I did not
And I
take
will
a skill
ask for your initiatives, or sorry, not your initiatives, your reaction rolls momentarily as I pull up guard stats.
So for the reaction, what do we roll? Which die?
D10
If you don't
unless
have-
it says otherwise. So there's like skills that you can take to up your reaction or rather lower your
Oh.
reaction die. Your skills are all D10s unless you're like, hey, you're good at running. Run with the D8.
Got
It
it.
includes
Okay.
reactions.
It's like baseline is a D10. Got it.
Mhm. You're a civilian until you take skills that make you not one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I played Sagas before.
All right. Where did
I've
you
played
go?
Sagas before, they say. That was the longest reaction time I think I've ever had in my life. Whew.
The cat was adequately distracting, probably.
I was reading one of my talents and powers to be like, okay, what are we gonna do, and how are we gonna do this? Whew. And I can barely read.
All right.
So.
So, remember, low rolls are good in Sagas. So, did anybody get a 10 or higher?
Good.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
High
All right.
No.
Nemo and Zelio will be going together. Every round, you'll get to choose which of you goes first.
Cool.
4, 3, 2.
Two. Oh!
I got
Oh. All right, same thing for the three of you. You'll all be going together each time. Whoever's ready or whoever wants to go first will be able to.
What are we,
Twins
some
and
kind of
triplets. I
pirate
love
crew?
this.
We're in sync already.
Nice.
All right, and it's really, really easy because how I have it set up is everybody going on 5 is on one side, and everybody going on 2 is on the other side. So thank you for making that work out nicely for me.
Our totally scripted session. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, 100%. This was written beforehand. This is full acting, no improv here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sorry, what are my lines right now?
That was your line. Good job.
Line.
Let's skedaddle, boys.
All right. You three are up first. As you see the guard at the end of the alleyway who has just shouted for his companions.
If everyone else is okay with it,
Yeah,
I
please.
will lead the charge. Full classic One Piece running away from everyone by running through them moment. I'm just gonna run at him. I'm gonna draw my sword as I'm running him. I'm gonna hit him as hard as I can.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and make that attack roll.
That's a 1.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
how did-
so that's a 1, which means that's a crit. In sagas, you don't roll damage. Every attack does 1, and you can increase that by 1 for certain things. One of the ways to increase it by 1 is by rolling a 1 and getting a crit. So you do a total of 2 damage, and this guy only had 2 health to begin with. So
Hell
you
yeah.
just charge out of the alleyway, and like every single minion in One Piece ever, the guard just gets bowled over and goes flying across over the roofs of the buildings on the other side of the road. And immediately you can see
as I charge,
other-
I go. Sorry, as I charge, I go. Loophole slash.
I love that.
as you shout out the name of one of your signature moves, the guard you hit goes flying, never to be seen again unless you look very closely next episode.
Hmm?
You can see now his friends were not far behind. You can see 5 more guards arrayed in front of you. But fortunately, they are on one side, and the port you need to get to is on the other. But you have been noticed. All right. Coralie and Esmer, who's next?
I am going to whisper into Zelios' ear, hey friend, do you think that you could shot put me, or maybe what's this one? Well, why can't I think of what Usopp does?
Slingshot?
Or yes, do you think you could shot put me, slingshot me towards one of the gods?
Yes, of course. Let's just throw a snake at somebody. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you. All right, see you soon. And I'm gonna straighten my body as much as possible while you decide on whether you're going to shot put me or slingshot me towards them.
Or javelin you?
Okay.
Or javelin
Amazing.
me.
So mechanically, how this is going to work, we will have Coralie. In sagas, you can increase your reaction in the middle of combat, and increase means make it worse and go further down in the turn order. So we can have you go after Zelio if you'd like,
Okay. All right.
or you can do it. You can do a thing right now too.
Well, would that take away part of their turn?
I'm just trying to make this work narratively and mechanically at the same time. That would not take away. If you go now, you would have to do something other than attack them. And your being thrown would be Zelio's attack, not yours.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then
Which I'm down to do.
I can wait. Okay. Would it be helpful if I explained what I want to do when I get there?
Yes.
Okay. What I would like to do is I want to be yeeted at someone, and I want to use my little snake body to wrap around someone's neck like a bow and just squeeze. Which I have named Snake Snake Squeeze.
Amazing. All right, so here's how we're going to do this. If you're okay with it,
I could
that
also
will be a combo
My turn's now. Oh, combo.
with Zelio. And essentially what combo does is, Coralie, you would spend 2 effort to add 1 damage to Zelio's attack.
Cool.
Ooh. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's how we'll do that. That doesn't require any actions or anything, so you can climb on the roof to get a better view for a moment. You have an action to spend. You could brace, which basically makes you tougher for a moment, and if you get hit, you lose effort instead of health. You can yell encouragement to an ally. There's a lot of options.
And were you saying that to me or to Angie?
That was to you, Jess, Coralie.
Okay. Because I'm waiting for them to throw me, I think that I'm just going to stay put and rigid until they're able to throw me.
Okay, got it. Next up then is going to be Esmer.
Yes. So, combat-wise, how many zones are the guards away from us right now? Because I know that Luke kind
everybody
of
everybody except Inkray is in an alleyway. And the guards, there's one zone between Inkray and the guards, so 2 zones away.
Okay. And question. I have the ability to move 2 zones instead of 1 when I move. In Sagas, is it possible to attack someone on the way to your final destination? Or do you have to plant
Yes.
yourself? Cool. My plan is to run past the guards and just smack somebody on the way to the other side to like start clearing a path. If that is cool to you.
That works.
Fantastic. So Esmer is going to crouch down and enter a position almost like they're about to like start running at the start of a race. Hands on the ground, one leg bent forward, one leg bent back. And then they take a deep inhale and properly engage their devil fruit for the first time. They have the bug fruit model grasshopper, which they are going to shout out, bug fruit model grasshopper! And you see their form start to change. They're not going full Zoan devil fruit, not full animal transformation, but the partial one that we've seen in some arcs of One Piece. So their legs get muscular and tight with kind of like a bony texture to them. Their eyes turn like green and solid, and their skin kind of starts to get a little bit of a plated texture to it as well, a little bit of an exoskeleton. And finally, 2 wings unfurl from their shoulder blades, because they can fly, and that's kind of what they're going to do here. They're going to just go bug top, and then shout, and using the momentum of their wings and their legs kind of like drill through the air and attempt to barrel through to the other side of the guard. I will roll my martial arts attack now.
Amazing.
3.
That is a hit on one of them. As you're this blur spinning, kicking up dust as you go. Just almost a blindingly fast hop moving through the guards, and one of them is kicked straight in the chest. And you can see him get slammed back up against a building as you suddenly get further away from them. So you are in an adjacent zone, not their zone. That's what you're going for, right?
Yep. I wanted to slide past them, divide their attention, and I skid to a halt, a little bit of plume of dust and smoke around me as my feet skid across the ground, and I say, grasshoppers are famously good at spinning around. That's my turn.
All right. You certainly got their attention, and it is their turn.
Yay!
The guards are going to split in half. 3 of them are going to go after Esmer. I need Esmer to please make 3 avoid checks, as 2 of them attempt to stare down Inkray as they draw their own swords and swing. And Inkray, I will need 2 avoid checks from you.
Great. And normally it would be a D10, but because the equipment I took was armored, representing my exoskeleton, I'm rolling 3 D8s to dodge these. Okay. So 1 7 and 2 3s.
I have the parry and counter trait, so I have also rolled d8 at rank 2, so I've also rolled d8s for this. And I rolled a 2 and a 5.
Amazing. With your parry and counter, both of them miss. So, Inkray, please describe to us what it looks like as you deflect both of these blows.
I have one more question. How do you regain effort?
Anytime you fail a check, you gain 1 effort.
Cool. Back up to your maximum, I take it?
Okay.
Yes, can't go over your maximum.
Excellent. In which case, I am going to expend 3 effort to use the first rank ability of Parry and Counter to make an attack against one of the people who have just attacked me. I will quickly roll that.
Amazing.
4.
That will hit.
I think it's just I sidestep one attack and it's just speed. My attack reaches the other guy before his attack reaches me.
In this blur of steel, you come away unscathed, and one of the guards is bleeding profusely. And we switch to Esmer, who is contending with 3 all at once, all of them swinging their swords over and over and over again towards her. You do not come away unscathed. Remind me what your rolls were.
1 7 and 2 3s. So I believe I get hit once.
You get hit once and you lose 1 health. That is a failed check, so you do get 1 effort back if you're missing any.
I am not. I jump and block 2 of the blades with my 2 legs in the air, hovering with my wings. But grasshoppers famously only have 2 legs, and she's not able to block the 3rd sword as it strikes her in the abdomen.
All right, that's the guard's turn. Nemo and Zelio, you're feeling a little left out. You've been you kind of want a piece of the action.
If I may, because I was holding out for Coralie, so the moment that Coralie suggests the combo move, Zelio says, "Oh, I absolutely love the way that you think, darling," and then takes off their hat, and then the snake essentially will grab the snake and will gently, well, not gently, there's going to be some force into it, so there's a little bit of like that cartoony like face when Coralie gets whipped around, so essentially just like whipped all around, and then just like throwing a like almost like a bolo at this, at these things. So yeah, just throwing this thing, throwing the snake.
Coralie spins through the air. And Zelio, I'd like you to please make your attack roll.
It's like how when anyone finds a garden snake and they just grab it and just toss it because they get scared.
Yeah.
There's no one coming out of flying snake without a. Yeah. Wait, am I doing the rolling or is Coralie doing?
You are doing the rolling
Oh my
to
God.
throw Coralie.
I'm sitting here and being all silly. Ah, my die. That's a 1.
Amazing.
Go.
Oh
you
yeah.
aim this perfectly, and Coralie wraps right around the neck and says,
And I wrap around their neck once, and then I like kind of go up their face and into their ear, and I whisper, "Snake, snake, squeeze, my friend." And I just like wring myself out.
and you see this happen right at your feet, Inkray, and the guard that you have not yet injured falls to the ground, unmoving. Amazing. Next up is Nemo.
So there's like no guards in front of Inkray anymore.
No, there's one, just
One.
still bleeding.
Okay, so then in that case, Nemo's gonna like jump up onto Inkray's shoulders and then jump into the air, aiming to like just come down, and just kind of says like "Sharkman Wrestling fin drop," and almost like a shark diving down, like there's water around him, just dives straight down with an elbow, like wrestling move, and tries to knock that guy out.
Water splashes in all directions as you descend towards the guard. Go ahead and make that attack move.
Ooh.
Heck yeah. It descends right on top of the guard's helmet, and we have a freeze frame of the metal just bent inwards, and his eyes go crossed. And that is another guard down. The 3 that are left are all harassing Esmer still, but it is Inkray, Coralie / Esmer's turn. Which of you would like to go first?
I can, if y'all don't want to.
Yeah, please.
Question about how Sagas works. Are there opportunity attacks if you leave someone's zone that they're in?
Nope.
Cool. That was kind of what I was having in mind when I built this character. Because I'm going to attack one of them and then move 2 full zones away afterwards. So I'll do this real quick. That's a 4 to hit.
4 hits, yes.
Cool. I'm just going to really quick leap into the air on the soldier that injured me. I'm going to bug yo-yo again and throw him backwards with my leg into one of the other soldiers. And then I'm going to look to the port and say, "Come on, this way!" And I'm going to go 2 zones.
The guard smashes into his companions, and all three of them get thrown away, and all of you recollect yourselves and start sprinting down the hill away from them towards the port. And that is where we will take our break for this evening.
All right, my friends, we're going to take a short 10-minute break where we're going to feed ourselves and stretch and get some water, maybe do a shrimp check for our posture. I advise you to do the same thing as we take care of our words. What are they? Who can say them? What do brain do? I don't know. As we take care of ourselves, I encourage you to take care of yourself, and we will be back. Bye. Hi, everyone, and welcome back. We are so thrilled that you are joining us for part 1.5. I don't want to call it part 2 because part 2 happens on April 8th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we're going to call this part 1.5 of our One Piece inspired saga stream. Before we get back into our combat, the players have decided that we are going to do an in-character recap. And I guess that starts with me. So without further ado, hello there, friends. The name is Coralie, King Coralie. I'm on this island of Contrix, and this awful king has, I don't know, apparently made a contract with me and then, I don't know, bumped me over the head and made me forget a bunch of things because I don't remember signing that contract. I met these 3 exceptionally interesting people, and then right after meeting them, there was a grasshopper person that came and said, I like being a grasshopper, and did you know these things about grasshoppers? And I don't know, they've said a lot of cool things, but right now we're actually en route to the king who wants to kill me, but I'm currently wrapped around some guard's neck, squeezing the absolute bejesus out of him, and that's, I don't know, that's kind of what I've been doing right now.
We are actually en route to the ship over on the port.
Yeah, well, potato, potato.
There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates.
Oh,
He's not the main character of this story, though. That's us. It seems like trouble was a brewing in the kingdom belonging to King Dial, who made people sign contracts, and now we're all hanging out and fighting people. I don't know if we were all popcorning it around or what.
I'm still hungry. Is that in character? Is that me? You'll never know. It's both.
And Nemo this whole time has been kicking himself for not signing that contract to have Inkray beat up everybody that got in his way a long time ago.
It does only last for 3 days, so.
And Zelio is currently looking at all of the group and thinking to themselves, this would be an interesting group, an interesting crew, even.
And now
And
you're
with
caught
that
back
thought-
up. Woo!
With that thought going through your head, Celio, the crew continues to sprint down the hill towards the port. You can see King Dial's men giving chase, not successfully. They are weighed down by their standard issue regalia. And they are shouting, "Get back here! Come on, you filthy pirates, get back here!" And you can see down at the port, there are 2 ships. One is very clearly the ship you need, the ship that was left for Zelio by Bonclay. It is this gorgeous lavender-colored vessel with huge, stark white sails. No flag being flown, but it is moored off to the side, and you can see the helm pointing inwards towards the port has nothing but, it doesn't have a person on it. It doesn't have a shark. It doesn't have any sort of big, hyper-detailed creature on the front. It instead has 2 very thin, heart-shaped lips painted on its front.
Oh, I think that's the one.
This is the one, the purple one. I like
Yes.
that.
Wow.
It looks like it's wanting to kiss us, and then just does it, just right at the ship.
That's, yep, that's a ship.
Yes, it is quite opulent, I would say. My prior captain liked extravagance, to say the least.
Your hearts all rise as you see your escape off of this island, the way to get both yourselves and Coralie, the king's quarry, away from him. But your hearts fall again as you recognize the second ship pulling into port. White, painted and bleached, trimmed in a teal blue. The Marines have arrived.
Boo, tomatoes.
Always here to ruin the fun. Well, I think it is in our best interest if we quickly leave this place.
Get on the ship and fight them. Leave this
Oh,
place.
I mean, we could do that, and subsequently get possibly destroyed in the process. It is a much bigger ship that we are facing, so I would not fight that.
Though it pains me, I will wait. Grasshoppers are not very good at waiting.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't think grasshoppers are very good at swimming either.
No, I will drown instantly.
Exactly.
Right then, so to the ship.
Let's go.
to the ship.
To the ship.
You continue running, sprinting down the hill, and with the king's guards chasing you from behind, you see a single guard, much larger than the rest, standing in front of the dock that leads to Bonclay's vessel, interposed between you and your goal. As you approach, the man takes a huge maul off of his back and stomps once, twice on the ground.
You'll never get past me!
And I need us to roll reactions again.
Woo!
Face down this boss.
Come on, triplets.
I hope we're not tripleting this time.
Oh.
Dennis, for no reason at all, would you be able to tell me if this guard is wearing boots?
Oh no.
We all know where this is going.
I
Yep.
don't know what you could mean
Oh,
by
we're-
that.
Can't wait. Dennis, please let them be wearing boots.
It's a Marine, right? Oh, it's a guard.
Please.
As a part of this guard's oversized regalia, there are a pair of armored greaves across his feet.
Cool, cool. Again, for no particular reason at all. Just
Cool.
wanted to know.
Yeah.
Just gotta know.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's important character description for mini boss number 1.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You got a friend in me. You're a friend in
Being
me.
behind ink.
And that's as much of that song as we can legally play.
Exactly. Thank you. No DM.
That's about right. All right. Let's go the other direction this time. Did anybody get a 1? 2.
Triplets. Yeah, nope. All right.
Oh, sorry. Did we go the other way? I got a 1. Sorry.
Ah,
I was
okay.
looking at my character
Amazing.
sheet.
Just a year apart.
My contract is coming in.
3. 4.
3.
Nice.
Yes, yes, yes.
4. 5.
Five again.
No.
Everybody was open? Okay. Nope, it's cool. Fine.
I can just skip over the waiting. I got a
go ahead.
9.
Mm. Mm.
All right. Inkray, you're up first.
Cool. I'm gonna walk up to this guy. I'm going to grab him by the face, and I'm gonna try and push him to the ground.
Amazing. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
That's a 2.
That's a 2. You grab him by the helmet and bodily slam him face first into the wood, which cracks beneath him. Yeah, he takes 1 damage from that. As the rest of your party runs up behind you, Esmer, you get there next.
Absolutely. This is gonna sound crazy. I'm gonna kick him. I'm gonna be running still in grasshopper mode, but I'm going to leap into the air, do a front flip in the air before axe kicking down on the guard that Inkray slammed into the ground, and real quick, bug hammer, and drop my heel on him. It's a 7. How does effort work with re-rolling again?
So, if you want extra dice, there are 2 options. One, an ally can help you by spending 2 of their own effort. The other option is you can boost your own roll by spending 3 of your own effort.
Gotcha.
I'll assist. I'll spend 2 of my effort.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
All right, what does that look like? How do you assist Bug Hammer?
So would this, just to make sure, I'm trying to think so that it doesn't take away, because I feel like Zelio would pull out their whip and then kind of snatch it around this guy's, like, whip it around both of the ankles so that it wrapped around, so that way he wouldn't end up being able to move out of the way, or even if he tried to move, he'd trip, so that way he would still be in the line of the attack.
He moves to start rising, and he gets halfway up, and he puts one foot flat on the ground in a kneeling position, and immediately that foot gets wrapped up by your whip and yanked out from under him as Bug Hammer comes down with his huge heel kick. Go ahead and take that extra die to see if this hits.
That was a 3. I did the reroll, so that is 1 point of damage.
Amazing.
Nice.
It slams into his back, and he crashes into the wooden dock yet again, just getting up wham.
And quick addendum, I said hammer, I meant mallet. There is a difference in the naming scheme that will be important once you learn backstory at a later date.
I see. Well, Bug Mallet was successful this time around, and it is now Zelio's turn.
I think with having had this individual already wrapped in their in the serrated chain whip, Zelio is going to run. Because are they, like, how is this guy facing? Like, are they on the ground?
Face
like
down,
face
trying to get back up with his arms.
Yeah. So I think Zelio is going to essentially run and, like, on top of their body, essentially curving more of the serrated chain whip over, so it's almost like arching around this man's body. And if he tries to move or release himself from being held by the whip, he will take 1 health, will lose 1 health in doing so, because of the serrated aspect of the chain whip.
Amazing. Go ahead and make your attack roll as he attempts to rise.
Yeah. Oh no, I died. Okay, I didn't lose it. That's a 1.
Oh,
Yes.
amazing. This chain, as he's lifting him up, you said it wraps around like his arm.
it's essentially because this is a big guy, right?
Very big, almost as
Zelio
big as
is-
Ingrid.
Yeah, Zelio essentially like is running down with their whip already tied around this guy's ankles, will run to essentially just have the whip like bisect like the where his body crosses, essentially like crossing his body so that it's and run like over like almost like step on him and to get to the other side, so that they're also in direct line of being able to run into the ship.
Amazing. So as the whip wraps around his body, it immediately like slides, sparks up his armor up to just underneath his arms where there's chinks in it, and you can see it pierce into him, and he as he still rises, he gets to his feet, but he is essentially effectively held in place by your chain.
Yeah. And I think Zelio will stand there with the whip like holding steady and just being like, okay, everybody, into the ship we go.
It is his turn now. And he's already looking beaten, bloodied, and he is first things first going to he's gonna aim an attack at you, Zelio. So I need you to please make an avoid check.
Got it. Also, he can use his combat action to escape, but loses the 1 health in doing so.
Okay.
So an avoid.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 10. So no.
I would love to return the favor before and expend 2 efforts to try and help block this attack. And give you...
All right. Before we describe this, I will have you roll another die for this avoid check.
Oh, okay. Just another D10?
Yep.
That's a 6.
That is a failure. You get 1 effort back, and you lose 2 health. I'm going to add, as the giant guard grabs the chain that he has wrapped around him and yanks you towards him, and just gives you like this full clothesline across the chest, wham, with his arm, and you spin 1, 2, 3 times before wham, landing on your back, all the breath leaving your chest. He is going to turn then and clasp hands with Inkray, staring him dead in the eye, grasping and entering this contest of pure strength with him. Inkray, I need you to please make an avoid check as well.
And also, did he lose that 1 health point from releasing himself from the grasp of the serrated chain whip?
He's still in the serrated chain. He can't move.
Oh, got it.
Got a 2.
That's a 2. You are now engaged man to man with this guy, just both of you snarling into each other's faces. It is 2 giants towering, leaning against each other, staring down a challenge. And that is his entire turn. Nemo, you're up next.
Nemo walks up, hands in pocket, and all you hear is the flap, flap, flap of his sandals. And he gets right in between the 2 faces, and he's like, now this is adorable. And then gives the biggest like shark grin, all the sharp teeth are showing. You know, to the guard, sharks love livers. And then he's just gonna hit him with like an uppercut into the liver as he's grappling.
Go ahead and make that attack roll.
Ooh, 4.
That hits. And you just collide with this wall of a man, and you feel the shockwave enter his body as he... And he takes 1 more point of damage.
Oh, he's a tough one. He's a tough one, Ray. You got it.
Mhm.
Yeah, put it in the ship. All right. See ya there. And then, yeah, he's going to start.
Poorly.
Okay. So, as established, this guard is wearing boots. So I'm still in my snake form. So I'm going to slither over, slither up the leg and down into the boot, and you'll hear. Right then, there's a snake in this boot. Oh, I'm the snake in this boot. And then I am going to use the infect power by biting his leg. And I do have this in rank 3, so if my attack roll works, then we'll be dealing 1 point of damage. And right before I bite, I yell out, "Snake, snake, venom!" And the roll is a 2.
That absolutely hits. You find a spot of exposed skin right on his calf and sink your fangs in. And I'll ask you, what does it look like as an infect takes hold?
So at first it almost looks like varicose veins going up this man's legs. But then you can see as the venom starts to spread, it gets this really deep purple, and like light purple bruising starts going around the like varicose veins as the venom spreads throughout the body.
You can Inkray, actually, you feel one of his knees begin to buckle as you are in direct contest with him, and you start pushing him backwards towards the water very slightly. Back to the top of our turn order. It is you, Ink.
Cool. So I'm just like locked hands with him, right?
Mhm.
Right. Pushing. I'm just gonna try and twist around and break both of his arms, just outstrength him. That's a 10.
Oof.
You try. You do your damnedest, and you have not in your memory met someone that can match your strength on this level. As you try to bend his arms downwards, he continues to hold you in place and grits his teeth. You'll not get away unscathed. Arrgh.
That's what they said. That's what they said when I took the bar. Stressing against them.
I just want to say I love the concept of this giant, enormous, ripped lawyer.
Behind a tiny desk, taking the bar.
Yeah. Esmer.
All right. I'm gonna kick him. Martial arts roll. That is a 2. Seeing that things are getting intense, Esmer's not doing any of their hit and run tactics, just kind of planting their feet and attacking as much as they can. With a 2 to hit, they're going to leap into the air, hover with their wings behind them, and then bug, tricycle! Kick the back of his shoulder blades just over and over with a rapid series of kicks.
And you can see him.
Let go of my new buddy!
Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Oh, it was a 2.
Oh, that's right. It was a 2. He did take his damage. You can see cracks forming under your barrage of I can't think of another word for kick. And pieces of it begin to fall off, and the metal clatters to the ground. It is Zelio's turn.
Zelio is getting up from the ground from where they essentially got busted. And their whip is still wrapped around this big guy, right?
Correct. But as you start moving, you feel a searing pain on your right side. And you look down, and your arm is just this black and blue up above the elbow, below the shoulder. And you have the wound fractured arm.
Okay. Nice.
Your attacks must use a D10.
I was already using a D10. 'Cause I
Perfect.
don't have- Yeah. So fractured arm.
Mhm.
Is there a severity to it?
Just at severity 1 for now.
1. Okay. I'm gonna say that was their that is their oh my god, I'm blanking. Their main arm for using, so they just essentially like turn over the whip over to their other arm. And they essentially yank at the whip to try and get this guy on the ground again.
Okay. This is an attack to do damage, essentially, right?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
No, that's a 9.
You pull, and you don't know if it's this guy's insane bulk or the fact that he is locked with Inkray and anchored in place, but he is not budging as you yank on your chain.
Got it. Is there any way for me to like maybe move away from this whatever it is that's happening right now? Just so that I'm out of harm's way.
You can. You do get 1 point of effort back from that failed check. It's okay. I always forget when I'm in a player seat for Sagas, and I'm the one that wrote the frickin' game. So you can move back, but in order to do so, you have to either let go of your chain whip or release him from it.
I will release.
Okay. So you sort of you twist your wrist, and a wave of energy goes across the chain, and it loosens itself, and you quickly wrap it back up as it retracts to you.
Yeah. And then Zelio is going to start running towards the ship and literally yell out, "To the ship! To the ship! To the ship!" Like trying to let everyone know is like, hey, maybe we should not deal with this guy.
All right. That is Zelio's turn. This guard is still in direct contest with Inkray, but there's a little bug on its back that needs to get swatted. And so he is going to disengage, let go of your hands, Inkray, and as you stumble forward, he's going to try to bring a knee up to your chin. Go ahead and make an avoid check, please.
That is a 4. Oh, sorry.
Attacking
was that for
Inkray right now.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
A 5.
A 5. You take 2 damage as his armored knee collides with your chin. Stars go across your eyes, and you have to take a knee yourself and focus to maintain consciousness. And he picks up his hammer, swings it above his head, and brings it down straight towards Esmer. Go ahead and make an avoid check yourself.
Awesome. Should I keep the 4 or roll again?
Up to you. You don't know what his attack stat is.
Sheesh. I'm gonna keep the 4.
And the 4 is exactly what you needed. Describe for me how close this is.
Absolutely. He swings his hammer down at me. I've landed from the attack, and in slow motion, the hammer is swinging at me. I bend all the way backwards until I'm just bent at a very awkward angle as the hammer manages to miss me because I've just bent in a weird contortionist way backwards. And as my head is...
Then.
Yep.
And the hammer lands like on the dock, which it smashes inches from your face.
Absolutely. As there's a bunch of like shrapnel and debris exploding everywhere, we see like a close-up of Esmer's face upside down, their back bent all the way. They're just gonna say, "Grasshoppers are very good at dodging hammers."
That is that guy's turn. Nemo, you're still very close to this guy.
Yeah, I think Nemo kind of has like a, I don't know if anybody watches MASH, where he gets like, huh, and it's like a honk over his head, like, what? But then sees what happens to Esmer, and then all of a sudden, like, just gets angry. His eyes dilate, and there's almost like this aura behind him of like red water. And I would like to use the very cool supplement to One Piece and use Stab, some tremendous anime bull.
Just to clarify, you only get to use this once this whole show.
Let's do it. Let's
Oh,
burn it.
Whoa!
The entire show. Damn.
Go for it.
Using it, I'm going to restore all my effort. And then I'm going to burn 2 to combo with Esmer to do some anime bull martial arts full on Sanji Zoro team up.
Galactic Shark
On the-
Grasshopper team up. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
And then Nemo will be like,
Amazing.
one thing that sharks know is they can be really good friends with grasshoppers. And then we'll like kind
Esmer
of
starts crying.
Yeah, and then we'll just start going at it. I think it would be almost like a dance. Like it looks like they're like dancing back and forth, and in between doing martial arts as they attack the guard.
Okay, we will get to that combo once it comes back around to Esmer's turn. Coralie.
Okay, I would like to start by saying, because he's already been infected, he takes 1 point of damage, because I am planning to do an attack move. The attack move that I would like to do is wrapping, so moving out of the boot per se and wrapping
Just
right.
to clarify,
Yes.
I believe how Infect works is you get to spend your action every subsequent turn to do automatic damage. But you need to use your action to do that, so you won't be able to attack.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. I'm so glad that you know
please,
how to
please
read.
describe for us what that looks like. I know that's what you were going into, 100%.
Yes. So basically, what I would like to do is wrap around the legs, if I may, just for some added, stability to make sure that this guy isn't moving around. If I can't do that, I'm just going to slither away. But basically, I'm just gonna give some extra bites here and there, some little nibbles. The knees aren't looking particularly infected yet, and we just want to spread that venom to all of the places that we can. So as the little nibbles start happening, as I slither out of the boot and up the body, the varicose purple veins just start spreading. The skin is turning purple. He's almost starting to look a little similar to Coralie, except that Coralie looks good and he looks like maybe he's dying.
It's not a pretty sight for this guard. He begins coughing and still gritting his teeth against his injuries and now his infection. All right. After Coralie, we're back to the top with Inkray again.
Sweet. He's given me enough room to draw my sword, so I'm gonna do that. I 6 to hit.
That is not enough. Your sword fully drawn, you yank it out of the sheath and with 2 hands bring it down, and it just glances off of his helmet in a shower of sparks.
Oh, you know what's fun? I have the clumsy floor.
That's right, the clumsy struggle. So as your sword misses your target, it embeds itself in the dock, and when you yank it free, a full plank comes off attached to the sword.
Oh, no.
Wait, is it like
Ah.
stuck on the sword?
Oh yeah, the sword is
Cool.
still usable mechanically, but it just has wood attached to it now.
Built-in shield.
It's gonna try and just stand there, try and shake it off.
And as you are shaking off the plank of wood attached to your blade, it is Esmer/Nemo's turn.
How does this work, DM?
That's up to you. What are you How are you attempting to attack together?
I think what Jake described is good. There's two of us. We're both martial artists. I imagine we're kind of each going for a weak point on either end of him, while we have the opportunity, both kind of using our size to get in there. And I think what we're aiming for is like the dual, like elbow kick to either side of him, like pincer attack, for the big like manga splash page. Is the outcome we
Alright.
want.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we'll have to let the dice decide, and it's your roll, Julie.
Okay. So, thanks to stab, do I get a second die?
No.
Okay.
Stab was used to fully refill Nemo's effort.
Gotcha. All right.
No
Well,
pressure.
regardless, it's a 2, which is a hit.
And that is a combo and deals the last 2 damage to this thing.
Look,
It
oh,
starts
good.
out as almost like a ping pong match of one of you punches, the other kicks. Nemo gives another punch, Esmer gives another kick, and he's just getting battered around in every single direction. And with the final blow, both of you land a hit simultaneously, and I'll ask each of you, where exactly do you land this hit for the splash page?
Go ahead.
Ooh, okay. I like that your kicks and I'm elbows. So I want to focus on that like liver shot again, because I know that's like killer in actual boxing and fighting stuff. So just a mean elbow into the liver, like maybe kind of like a, what do I want to say, like that like deep lunge into an elbow. And like, yeah, just boom.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think we really get him between the two of us using our bony parts of our joints. So you get the elbow in kind of like the liver abdomen area, and I'm behind him. I get a little bit of air, and I once again do bug mallet to just kind of axe kick down, but this time right onto his back. So just kind of the twin boom, boom with the guy in the middle, as there's a bunch of fun little action indicators around us.
And with that, the guard stands dazed, swaying. Armor begins falling off of him, broken in pieces, revealing just a normal chain shirt covering a bruised and battered body. And he drops to his knees and falls backward into the drink, into the water.
May I jump off before that happens?
Yes, there's a single snake just sort of as it falls into the water.
Cool.
I'll hold my arm out for the snake to grab onto.
And I will kind of wrap myself around your arm.
Excellent. We've all survived!
I think Zelia was already like halfway up the plank of the ship and starting to just like release whatever things they need to release to get the ship rolling.
Mm-hmm. Already pulling up the anchor, untying it from the dock. It's half done already, and as Esmer's war cry rings out, it is immediately deafened by the sound of marching boots as the Marines approach from the other side of the port. You have moments.
Wings up, wings out. I can grab Coralie and I'll gesture to Ink Ray and Nemo. Let's go!
Let's head out of here.
I think Nemo and I probably had to leave quickly before, so I just Nemo under one arm. Wait, you grabbed Carly?
You can grab me too if you want to
I was gonna
grab
say
everybody at the
I'm
same
gonna
time.
grab
Yeah.
everyone one under each arm and just run for the boat.
Okay, I think underneath.
We're going.
So underneath the arms, Nemo's just gonna look at Esmer and be like anime tears. Grasshoppers always win the day. And then
Sharks are pretty cool too.
thanks. And then yeah, we're underneath the arms.
So throw you guys up onto the boat. Not even going up the ramp, jumping onto the boat.
And as you are about to jump onto the boat yourself, you hear a voice from the marching Marines shout, "Incredible!" And you look out and you see a face you recognize, a face you haven't seen in years. And it's of a figure holding up a piece of paper above the heads of the Marines. You recall a contract you signed long ago, years and years ago, binding you to this island.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to I've thrown the other two up on the boat. I'm going to take my sword, I'm going to cut the mooring, and I'm just going to use my raw strength to push the boat out into the bay.
Make a check to push the ship out into the vast ocean.
Oh no.
That's the third dice I've thrown on the floor. That was a 3.
That's a success. With your bulk and your strength, it is a feat that you make look easy. Muscles straining, you shove this lavender vessel out into the ocean, and it continues to coast further and further away from the dock. And Nemo and Ink make eye contact as they grow more and more distant.
What are you doing?
I'm coming back. I'll be back as soon as I can.
You still owe me 3 days.
I still owe you 3 days, and you'll get the 3 days.
Survive.
I will. I'm gonna turn around, draw my sword, and face the Marines.
You are fully outnumbered, 50-1. And you see a particular figure walk out in front of you. The ship continues to coast into the ocean, out of earshot. And just before out of vision, you swear you see on a dock to the side that you weren't looking at, you see a blue lizard in beaten and battered armor, watching your ship begin to sail away, and watching Ink Ray face down a battalion on his own. And that is where we are going to end
No!
our first episode of One Piece in Sagas.
Sheesh.
Damn. This was so much fun. Y'all, wowie. We have started it. The journey, you know what, I don't have to wear these anymore, but now it's so bright. We are going to be continuing this for every Monday in April. We may not have Inkray next time, but maybe we'll have someone else. Anyway, my friends, let us tell the people who we are and where they can find us. And let us start with our very special guest, Lou.
Hi, I'm Lou. You can find me on Twitter under Faith Anything right now, just because life is a little bit hectic, but I always appreciate a follow. I'm gonna popcorn it over to Angie.
I had to mute because there's a train in the background. Anyways, hi, I'm Angie. They, them pronouns. I have been playing Zelio Costas. They, them pronouns as well. You can find me at Agonthetic on the internet, anywhere that you go on the internet. And you can also find me on my weekly D&D game that I am part of. Known Realms to Lush over on Tales Archived at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I play Zio Marino. And you can also find me currently in Bad House RPG Tuesday, so tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we are playing Embers of Rage, Roll with the Apocalypse, biker Latine werewolf gang. It's super awesome, and yeah, come check us out. And I'm gonna popcorn over to Julie.
Hey everybody, my name is Julie or Julie CL on the internet, JuLiciel. Sometimes the last L is a capital I. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch primarily, where you can see me boosting the profile of wonderful indie TTRPGs such as Gubak Banwa, which is a Filipino-created Southeast Asian-inspired game that I'm trying to boost all the time. If you're in New York, you'll occasionally see me swing by LAN Party Live for some of their live D&D shows. I co-run Roll D5, which is a network that entirely promotes indie TTRPGs. And if you want to hear my writing, I am the co-creator and co-writer of an award-winning audio drama called The Realm Tree, a story about fairies, featuring voice actors from Avatar: The Last Airbender, Genshin Impact, and Assassin's Creed. And I will popcorn it over to Jake.
Hey, I'm Jake Lionheart. You can find me on Twitter at Jake_Lionheart. I also make music, so if you need just instrumentals for your streams or anything like that, it's all royalty free. Just give me a shout out. I got things like a Hexblood thing that's like the Swamp Witch's Guide to Real Magic, and there's a monk one, and then there's just fun hip hop sounding stuff to fill in your backgrounds if you need it for streaming, or just if you're doing a Let's Chat. They're there. Just shout me out. And yeah, you can find pretty much Twitter. I just repost One Piece stuff and all these amazing folks. So yeah, thanks. And then popcorn over to Jess.
No, to Dennis.
This is like, you know who I am.
Thank you, Jess and Jake. Hi, I'm Dennis. I go by OKSDM around the internet. So you can find me on all the socials, mostly Threads and Twitter at OKist__DM. You can also find my YouTube channel, OKSDM, where I make mistakes running games so you don't have to. I have been honored to run this first episode for y'all. This has been absolutely amazing. Thank you to all of my players. Thank you to the audience for watching this far. I hope you all enjoyed this as much as I did. Monday cannot come soon enough, and I don't think I've ever said that before.
Ain't that the truth? Speaking of Monday, that is our next game of this One Piece inspired Sagas stream series, and it also happens to be my birthday week. We'll be kicking off a week full of streaming for charity streams for March of Dimes. So Jake spent his stab, but you could donate a large sum of money to a very worthy cause to get him his stab back. I wish that I would have put 2 and 2 together knowing that and used my stab, but here we are. Anyway, that's going to be on Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. On Tuesday, Persephoroth is going to be running a Daggerheart train heist. That's going to be fun. On Wednesday, we're going to have an Oops All Muscle Mommies game. And on Thursday of next week, we're going to have an End of the World Monster of the Week game. So please check those out. If you want any additional info, you can go to my Twitter or to my Charity TTRPG's Substack. It has all of the games, all of the cast. Again, that's going to be supporting March of Dimes. Back to One Piece, though, we're going to be streaming every Monday in April at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time right here on the Just the Human Twitch and YouTube, and we really hope that you will come and join us again and again as we continue sailing the South Blue. Does anyone have one last grasshopper word of wisdom that they want to share before we sign off?
We are on the cruise. We
Mhm.
are.
Ain't
Come
that
along.
the truth?
I've just got one song constantly playing in my head, and it goes bum 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 bum.
Ain't that
Bum.
the truth? All right,
Bum,
my
bum.
friends, stick around for a raid. And until next time, we hope that y'all treat yourself to some water, some food, to some hand washing, make some friends, be kind to others, and do some stabs, some tremendous anime bullshit. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.